Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a really fun video for you today. At least I think it's gonna be fun. I was gonna start out with like all these disclaimers and stuff. And then I thought, you know what, I'm not even gonna waste your time. Hopefully everybody watches this video and just kind of keeps a light heart about it and doesn't look for a reason to be offended. I can't see how you could be offended, but you know, you just never know. But anyways, I'm not gonna waste my time. So let's just go ahead and jump in. Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you 5 different things that you can do right now in order to be more beautiful pretty much instantly. And it's so interesting because some of the little bullet points that I'm going to be sharing with you actually have research behind them, which I just thought that was really neat. And yeah, and then the other ones, they just kept coming up over and over and over in articles. And so I just thought I would share those with you. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so the first tip to being more beautiful is to wear red, which is why I chose this red shirt. And, you know, unfortunately, I don't think red is really one of my colors. Anyway, red has always kind of been one of those colors that have been associated with like passion and love. And it's just been kind of one of those alluring colors. But recently, researchers have tried to discover different patterns and different associations that connect color with certain psychological behavior. And so there was a study done. Actually, there were 5 experiments that were done. And what's so interesting is that under all of the conditions, all of the women that were either framed in red or actually wearing red were rated as more beautiful and more sexually desirable by men, even compared to the same exact woman wearing different colors. And it was something that the men were unaware of. So I found that to be very interesting. But the same was also true for women viewing pictures of men. If the men were in front of a red background, or if they were wearing some color of red, then the women were more likely to rate them as more attractive. Not as consistently as the men were to rate the women, but it was still much greater than men wearing different colors. Now, in the same articles that said, you know, that red was the color to wear, they were also saying, you know, all pops of color, you know, try to stay away from the drabs, you know, like the khakis and the browns and the tans and the grays, which gray is like one of my favorite colors to wear. So I was a little bummed about that. But anyway, one of the messages that they were trying to relay is that so much of the interpretation of attractiveness comes down to basically how easily noticeable you make yourself. And so I just thought that was interesting. So if you are running around in the world and you want to look more beautiful, then either wear red, and if red's not your color, then just wear brighter colors. And I'm not saying like neon colors, but colors that stand out, colors that are not drab. But if you're specifically wanting to attract the attention of a man, then you should probably wear red. Number 2 tip for being more beautiful is to create contrasting facial features. And fortunately, this can actually be done with makeup. Most of it can be done with makeup. And one of the reasons is because there is a strong association between beauty and youth. And when you think about somebody who's younger, they have all those contrasting, you know, facial features. They, you know, if they have light eyes, if they have darker eyebrows, redder lips, rosy cheeks is another one. And they found in this research that, you know, as people age, we start to lose that contrast. Like the rings around our eyes start to fade. Obviously, we start to have silver or gray hair, silver or gray eyebrows. Our lip color starts to really fade. One of the other things that they did notice was because of sun damage and stuff, our face gets darker. And so there's less contrast between lips and then skin color. Also, we lose our rosy cheeks, you know? And so unfortunately, for us older ladies, you know, there is a strong correlation between, you know, beauty and youth, understandably so, you know. And so if you think about it, it's one of the reasons that the makeup industry, you know, does so well. You know, there's been so many times, obviously, right? Whenever you wake up in the morning and you look in the mirror, or not you, me for sure. I'll look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, I look dead. But the second, you know, you start filling in your eyebrows and putting on some mascara and putting a little, you know, lip color on, all of a sudden you're like, okay, you know, I'm not looking so dead now. So anyway, number 2 tip for looking more beautiful is just to figure out a way with makeup to add, you know, more contrast to your face. Not only will you look more beautiful, you'll also look younger. Number 3 tip for looking more beautiful is to wear heels, specifically nude heels, That's the color of heel that just kept coming up over and over and over. I think it's because it kind of elongates the leg. But something about wearing heels just changes the way your entire body moves. The hips, the knees, your feet, your shoulders, your back. There's this area where your back meets your butt. I want to say it's called the lumbar curve or something like that. Anyway, it's supposedly one of the most attractive areas of a woman's body, especially to men. And, my sister has such a curve from her back, my older sister, curve from her back to her butt, just, I don't have much of one. I have a little bit of one, but not like her. I've always liked that about her, body and stuff. But anyway, whenever you wear heels, it actually creates more of a lumbar curve. I hope I'm saying that right. Because whenever you wear heels, it forces your pelvic to lean forward. And so it automatically forces you to lean your body back in order to, kind of create a balance. And that creates more of a curve in your back. Apparently, that looks really, really attractive to most people. And it wasn't just men, it was men and women both who rated women wearing heels versus flats. They always rated the woman wearing heels as being more attractive. Even, this is the funny part, even if you could not see the body or the face of the woman wearing the heels or the flats. So they would literally just have pictures of like women from like the knees down, and it would usually be the same woman, and they would automatically rate the one in heels as being more attractive even when they couldn't see her body or face, which is so funny. Another thing that happens whenever you wear heels is because your pelvis tilts forward like that and you have more of an arched back, it actually lifts your butt. So again, it's just, to most people, an arch and then a lifted butt just looks really attractive. I'm gonna put on some heels and I'm gonna put on some flats real fast just so you can see the difference, so that you can kind of like visualize what I'm trying to say. Okay, so here I am with a pair of little, they're just DKNY little ballerina flats, Anyway, I don't think this looks bad. I think it looks actually kind of cute. I don't know if it matches all that well. So yeah, this is what it looks like with flats. And I don't know if there's much lumbar curvature there, but that's all I got. So this is apparently me looking less beautiful than I'm capable of, right? So let me put on these high heels. Okay, so now apparently I look more beautiful because I have on high heels. You know what I think it also does? If you're not wearing jeans or if you're wearing a skirt, I feel like it accentuates your calf muscles. And, I think that looks really pretty on a woman. Now, one thing that I definitely can see is that it does cause your pelvis to tilt forward and it makes you arch your back. So I can see how it kind of lifts. Yeah, I definitely see that. Okay. Maybe I need to start wearing high heels more often. That's just a butt lift and a pair of shoes, right? Number 4 tip to look more beautiful is to have a beautiful walk. When a woman has an attractive walk, she automatically just looks more graceful and just more poised. And it really, really accentuates, her femininity. And there are definitely some tips to having a more beautiful walk. The first one is a no-brainer. It's to have, nice posture. So you automatically want to roll your shoulders back. You can even go like that if it helps you. And when you do it, sometimes it might feel forced or it might feel like it looks contrived, but it really doesn't, because as you can see, it doesn't look like I'm purposely trying to hold my shoulders back. Another way to make sure that you have good posture is, and I made a video about this, is to pretend that your head is like a balloon so that it's just kind of lifting and aligning, your spine. Another tip to having a beautiful walk is to allow your arms just to swing very naturally with each step. I don't know if you've ever seen this episode of Seinfeld. I've never been much of a TV watcher except for Seinfeld. Like me and my husband back in the day, like 20 years ago, whenever it was airing and stuff, we watched every single episode that there ever was. And so, and that was like one of the funniest shows ever. Anyway, the girl from SNL, You remember when SNL was so funny? It was when Will Ferrell and, God, what was her name? She played Mary Catherine Gallagher or something like that. Anyway, she's in this Seinfeld episode and she doesn't move her arms when she walks. So she walks and she walks like this. And they're like, oh my gosh, they keep, making reference to her. That's just a funny little episode. But that's one of the things. Don't leave your arms stiff, allow your arms to swing. You don't want them swinging, real hard, but just a small swing. Also, the way you step, if you are stepping like this, then you're not going to have a natural kind of feminine, beautiful swing to your hips. So you kind of you don't want to be so exaggerated. Like when you think of the models when they walk on a catwalk, it's pretty much like that, but a lot more watered down, not as exaggerated. So you do want your feet to step slightly one in front of the other, not overboard. I guess depending on what kind of a hip swing you want, but you want them to slightly, step one in front of the other. I'm going to show you real fast. Hopefully I have enough room so that I can walk this way and you can see what I mean. Okay, so this is how the article says that you should walk if you want to look more beautiful. Well, actually, first of all, this is how they say that you should not walk. You should not walk with your arms stiff and with your steps out this way. And this is what it would look like. This is what you should not do. That felt so uncomfortable. Actually, you know what it felt like? It feels like when you're pregnant, you're just really having to, I don't know, you're just carrying so much weight here. So you're kind of leaning back and taking steps like that. So that what I just showed you is what the articles said not to do when you're walking, that it's not, more beautiful. So in order to walk more beautifully, you want to take one step slightly in front of the other, just like this. And you want to allow your arms to swing naturally, and you want to keep your shoulders back. So, and of course, smile, right? Why not? So it would kind of look like this. I hope I can do this. I don't know if I have enough space. So here it goes. It looks like this. Just like that. So let me try it one more time. And I want you to notice that whenever I'm walking like that, you're going to notice that my hips naturally, have a little bit of a swivel to them because of the way that I'm walking, slightly one foot in front of the other. So again, it looks like this. And you see how the hips just naturally swing? So if you want to exaggerate that a little bit more, then you're going to want to really cross one foot over in front of the other. And so this is what it looks like. I should have worn a belt. I keep tugging on my pants. So anyway, this is what it looks like. And as you can see, my hips are really, swaying from left to right. So again, if you really want to exaggerate it, then it's more like this. Now, one more thing I do want to mention about a beautiful walk is do not make the mistake of trying to wear heels that are too high, because that will just negate everything. Nobody can walk beautifully in a pair of heels that are uncomfortable to them. I know for sure. Like there are certain heights that I can't even walk in at all. Like I can't even take a step in because first of all, I have a bad knee. And so I'm real cautious. So this is a perfect height for me. I want to say it's probably 2.5, 3 inches. Probably more like 2.5. No, I don't know. Maybe 3 inches. It's a really comfortable height for me. Anything more than that, I'm not doing it because I'll end up stomping around and all of a sudden it just kind of like sucks the sexy and the beauty out of your walk and your look if you're stomping around just trying to look sexy by wearing higher heels, you know what I mean? And the last tip number 5 to be more beautiful is to smile. And everybody kind of knows this one, but this one has a little bit of a plot twist. You want to smile, but you also want to smile with a slight head tilt. And this one is another one that has some research to back it up. They actually researched dating websites, and the pictures of women that got more likes and more engagement were pictures of women that were smiling with their teeth and that also had a slight head tilt. And the reason behind that one is that whenever you are just looking straight ahead and smiling, there's something apparently that is unconsciously perceived as almost threatening whenever you're just smiling straight ahead. But when there's a little bit of a head tilt along with your smile, suddenly you look more welcoming, you look more friendly, you look more inviting. And so I thought that was a really interesting one, because everybody knows that every woman in the world looks better with a smile, whether it's an open smile or just, a closed mouth smile. Whenever you are carrying an expression on your face that looks friendly, you automatically just look more beautiful. But apparently the key to looking a little bit more beautiful and a little bit more friendly and inviting is to throw in a little head tilt. So if you are on a dating website, if you are, single and you're trying to find a date, or if you're just, trying to go through all your pictures and be like, which one should I post? Post the one where you're smiling with your teeth and you have a little bit of a head tilt. So that's all I have for you today. Y'all, I do want to say that I had so much fun making this video. I really did. I loved reading all these articles. I loved especially reading the research. Some of them would have never occurred to me, like wearing the color red. Y'all are gonna think it's funny because I have an upcoming Amazon haul and I've actually purchased a bunch of red stuff. I'm like, you know what? I want to be more beautiful. I'm gonna go purchase a bunch of red clothing. And it's not necessarily that I'm, thinking I want to go out there and just really attract the attention of men. I want to be more beautiful. I want to be more beautiful in every way that I can. And, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think all of us do. If you are watching this video, you do, So anyway, if you are single and, you're trying to find a man, or if you are just, wanting to look more beautiful, then go throw on, a red garment, shirt, dress, whatever. Create some contrasting facial features, throw on your high heels, practice a beautiful, feminine walk, and then smile and tilt your head when you do it. Because boy, I bet you will be fighting them off of you, right? So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I hope you have a fabulous Christmas, and I hope I see you back here next week.